the daily schedule. Okay, this one is one that this is so highly requested. So I'm telling you right now, I'm flying by the seat of my pants with this. I'm just making it up as I go along, so bear with me. Hi friends, so I have had a lot of you ask me for my daily schedule. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you kind of a breakdown of how the week looks for this curriculum here, the Preparing the World for Jesus. I'm doing this completely different than what the actual schedule calls for. So with this book comes a workbook, and so this is a 2-volume set, okay? And on the schedule, you're supposed to do both of these in 1 year. I decided not to do that. And this is the first time I've really broken away from how a curriculum is supposed to go. I'm a pretty strict rule follower, and this is the first time that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it my way. And I love it so far. Like, this has been the most fun year ever, like, with this. I absolutely love it. My husband loves it. My kids love it. So the way that this works is the first year is Preparing the World for Jesus, which is an ancient history curriculum. The second book is modern history. So we're talking about Jesus's crucifixion and death, burial, and resurrection to modern times. This one is all creation up to Christ. So we're doing this one this year, and we're doing Taking the World for Jesus, which is that second book, next year. So that's going to be grade 10. This is going to be grade 9. So this has plenty of information in it, but what I'm also doing is I'm adding readers. So like right now we're reading Hittite Warrior, and that's actually a really good book. This is our third book. We did the Pharaoh's book first. We did Unwrapping the Pharaohs. Then we did Cat of Bubastes, and now we're on this one. And I'm basically adding that reading to this, plus a couple of other things. So that's what I'm going to show you today, is our weekly breakdown of how I'm doing this curriculum, because I think a lot of you are trying to follow along with me. So this is how it's going. Now, I wasn't sure at the beginning, and this is why I did not film this video weeks ago and get it and had it up on my channel, because I knew I was going to have to get in the groove and actually try it out, kind of like jumping in the deep end. And I wasn't going to be able to tell you that until I figured it out. Like, I knew I would have to actually do it to figure out how the daily schedule was going to go, because I've never done this before. All right, so this is how it works. At least for me, this is how I'm doing it. The first day of the week, Monday, we are reading part of the chapter. Now, this really depends on how long the chapter is, because some of the chapters in here are about 30 minutes long, and some of them are like between 40 and 50 minutes long, because there's more pages. So what I'm doing is this. I bought the audiobook. Now on Generations, they have the audiobook for this textbook. I bought it. It was like, I don't know, $15, and they have sales all the time. Their curriculum sale for Cyber Monday is going to be coming up soon. Highly, highly, highly recommend getting the audiobooks, especially for somebody like me. Like, I have rheumatoid arthritis, so I can't talk for very long, so I can't read out loud very well. This is about as much talking as I can do in one stint. So I know I cannot read a whole chapter by myself. So I bought the audiobook, and that has made all the difference for this curriculum. I am so thankful that they did an audiobook. So the audiobook, I have it on my computer, and I have it on my phone here. There's like a little app on my phone. I think Generations has an app now where you can do this. So simple. So I actually have it on my laptop because it makes it a little bit easier. So the materials that I have is this book, the audiobook, and then I have an ebook of this book. So he and I both have a copy. So he takes this book in the living room. I take my laptop, I open up my audiobook, and I open up my ebook, and I start the ebook reading. Now, for the chapters that are a typical length of about 30 minutes, which is most of the chapters, okay? Most of the chapters are about 30 minutes. What we do is we do half the chapter Monday and half the chapter Tuesday. So Monday morning and Tuesday morning look very much the same. We are listening and reading the audiobook together to about half of it. And then we do a little discussion, so kind of like a narration type deal. We ask questions. I mean, my husband sits in on these chapters a lot, so a lot of times, he will have a lot of commentary on it with our son. And then my son reads a chapter in our reader, okay? And then that's it. That takes about 30 to 45 minutes each day. And that's all I really want to do. We're doing kind of like a Charlotte Mason style, so a very concentrated amount of work in a shorter amount of time. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, those days look a little bit different. So on Wednesdays, we have the workbook to this book, and my son actually likes doing the workbook. So I am letting him just fill out the questions, and that seems to kind of jog his memory, kind of solidify some of those concepts a little bit more. I'm not a big stickler on the workbook just because I don't think that workbooks are totally necessary, especially like in a Charlotte Mason style type of homeschool, but it gives him a little bit extra and he enjoys doing it. So, what the heck. So that is kind of our Wednesday activity. Thursday, we do a notebooking page. So we have like a 3-ring binder, and that's like his notebook. And I have notebooking pages that I print out online, and my son fills these out. So he draws pictures and maps and resources and things like that. So I like to kind of play around with this a lot. So to add some geography, sometimes we do a map. Sometimes we're doing a page on like a figure that we have learned about, like a person, or it's a concept or idea. And a lot of times I leave this up to him unless we're doing something with geography. So I let him kind of pick the topic that is the most interesting to him in his chapter that he learned about. And he will go to town on that on his own and do some research and draw pictures and add information and things that he thought was really interesting. That's Thursday. Now Friday is kind of the makeup day, flex day. Now every day of the week he's reading this book. So Monday through Friday he is reading his reader. That's just a given. And we are doing some kind of discussion on that. So we might be doing a oral narration. We might be doing a written narration. We might just be reading it and having like a book club type of discussion about it. So we're going to be doing that on Friday plus every other day of the week. But Friday, I don't have like an official assignment for this book. So Friday is kind of like our flex day for this curriculum, which is fine. I think having a flex day is actually a really good thing in your curriculum for one day a week, especially for days that like we might need to make up a little bit of work. Maybe there was a lot of things going on during the week and it kind of gives you a little bit of flexibility for that. So it is a flex day for this curriculum. Now, that's a typical week. If the chapter is a little bit longer, which there are some long chapters in this book, what we do is we spread that out throughout the whole week. So we might be doing 15 to 20 minutes of audio all throughout the week until we finish this. I leave room for flexibility because I think it's a good thing. I think it's very helpful and very wise to do. So we have a lot of flexibility in here. And honestly, I just love this book so much that I don't mind those longer chapters because it gives us more to listen to and to talk about throughout the week. Now, I was kind of playing with the idea of doing that, like spreading it all throughout the week or kind of dividing it between 2 weeks, but I actually like doing it all in 1 week if it's feasible. You kind of have to tailor it to your own child. For my child, it's totally feasible. For some, it might not be. It might be just too much. in that instance, I would say break it up into 2 weeks. Don't worry about doing it all in 1 week. There is plenty to get through in this whole year. And if I do a chapter every single week, I still have like 8 weeks or so where I'm not going to have a chapter in here. So I have like 8 weeks of flexibility to play with. So what I plan to do for those is I have a study in Plutarch, and I have some extra readers for that time that we might be doing that. Plus I have exam weeks, and during exam weeks, which is going to be 3 weeks out of the year, every 12 weeks, Charlotte Mason style, we are going to be doing review. So we are not going to be doing a chapter in here. So that kind of allows me to kind of play with the curriculum a little bit, and it's helping me prepare for next year when we do the second half of this curriculum, the Taking the World for Jesus book. And I'm pretty much going to probably just mirror what I did with this one. I'm going to leave out what didn't work and, you know, kind of hone in on those things that those ideas and those routines that I know that was a hit, and just kind of go from there. So I think this is working. I think this is working very well, and I'm like really shocked that it's working this well the first time. So I'm very happy, and I've talked a lot with Karen Andriola. If you know who I'm talking about, she is the author of A Charlotte Mason Companion. Her and her husband Dean, they republished all of Charlotte Mason's work back in the 80s and 90s. She's written so many great books. I have a lot about her on my channel. Go check her out. She's fantastic. I've been emailing her. She's been so sweet to help me kind of navigate this this brand new transition for me in my homeschool. So this has been working extremely well. There's not a lot of information overload because we are spreading the information out throughout the entire week, and we're not doing 2 chapters in 1 week. We are doing 1 chapter a week. And that's really helping solidify those ideas. And this curriculum has been so wonderful. I feel like slowing it down has been the best option, because we've been able to have so many more conversations about this. Like even my oldest child, who is not in high school anymore, he has graduated. On the days that he's off, he just recently graduated the Fire Academy. He loves to sit in on this curriculum and listen to the book. Like you should see it. Like when that audio goes on and it's just me and my son doing this book, my other child and my husband both come in the room because they want to listen. Like that's how interesting this curriculum is. I cannot stress enough how great this book is. Buy it. Seriously, even if it's just for you, like even if you don't have high schoolers yet, just buy it to read it. Like it is fantastic. Never had a curriculum this interesting before in my hands. I was actually thinking about getting this for my dad for Christmas, because when he was recently here for my son's fire school graduation, he thought this book was so neat. He kept flipping through this book and he's like, "What is this?" And we're like, that's our son's world history curriculum. He's like, "This is curriculum?" It's like, yeah. You know, like he thought this was so awesome. So, I mean, this has just been so much fun for the entire family. It sparks a lot of great conversations. But I feel like that would be a lot harder to do if I was doing double the work to get both books done in 1 year. So spread it out for 2 years. If you have the option and you think that that's a good idea, like go check out my other videos on how I'm doing this. I split it up, and I'm so glad I did this. I'm so glad that we did the slow down version of this. It took me a little while to really break this down, but it was probably one of the best decisions that I made curriculum wise, was to break this up into 2 separate books. So I hope that that helps you guys out. If you are trying to kind of follow along with me a little bit, that's what my weekly schedule looks like right now with this curriculum. It is relaxed, it is fun, it is interesting, and every time I open that book, I learn so many things that I did not know before. All right, I will see you guys next time. Let me know if you have any questions. I will do my best to get them answered, either video version or just down in the comments. So I will see you all next time. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and happy homeschooling.